taking on the Rams. Final preseason action. All 4 Cleveland quarterbacks in action. We wouldn't show Snoop Huntley, but we'll show the other 3, including that guy. Sorry, Snoop. Joe Flacco starting off for Cleveland. He's the week 1 starter, 3rd and 9. To Dylan Sampson, spins out of a tackle, picks up the first. All right, Browns inside the red zone. Couple plays later, 2nd and 11. Flacco. This is what he does. Straight up dime to Harold Fannin Jr. for a touchdown. 9 for 10 on the night, 71 yards and a tutty. He's going to make way for Dylan Gabriel. Up next. 2-minute situation before the half. Gabriel to Gage Larvadan. Coolest name in the game with the first down. They're in Rams territory. Next play. Gabriel to Jamari Thrash. First down, no relation to the former Eagle and Commander James Thrash. Later in the drive, Browns 3rd and 7. Gabriel. Great ball there to Thrash. Out of bounds to 3. Look at this perfect spot. He's got it going on, Gabriel does. All right, very next play. Gabriel got a little time to Larvadan. Touchdown. 12 for 19, 129 yards and a tutty. Gabriel, pretty nice outing. So he'd make way for Shedeur Sanders. Playing in Cleveland for the first time as a quarterback for the Browns. Fans like, ooh, so excited, yay. Late in the 3rd, Sanders. What can he show him? He's under pressure and ball comes out, bobbles around. Browns recover. But they'd have to punt it away, so Early 4th now, 2nd and 12 for Sanders. Pressured again, avoids a sack. Maybe throw it away, do something. Don't let him sack you. Loss of 24 on the play. 3 for 6 on the day, 14 yards, sacked 5 times. Post game, check out this question.
I feel like you belong here on this team.
Obviously, I think overall as a player, I feel like I put in the work. I feel like everything I do, I try to do it to my best, and that's all I ask for. So I feel like everybody feels like, they should be on the team, and if you ask anybody on the team, would they feel like they belong, in their own eyes. So I feel like I do, but I'm my own player, I think about myself in a high regard, of course. So it's not my decision.
We welcome in Herm Edwards to break it all down. Okay, so Herm got a crowded quarterback room over there in Cleveland. You got Joe Flacco as the week 1 starter. Now with the preseason wrapped, how should their quarterback depth chart shake out?
Well, Joe Flacco is the starter. We know that right away. I mean, his experience, they're going to try to get off to a fast start with Joe Flacco. And if you watch him in the preseason, it looks like Joe Flacco. Look, he's played a lot of football. He gets the ball out of his hand very quickly. You can see it right now. He's very accurate. But the thing I worry about with Joe Flacco is this. He can't move anymore. He's 40 years old. That could be a problem. Now, Gabriel, I like him. He's very accurate. The last 2 preseason games he's played in, he's been accurate. He scans the field. He gets rid of the ball very quickly. Shedeur all of a sudden has become a quarterback that's trying to make the big play and is hanging on to the ball too long. He took some bad sacks in this game, and all of a sudden, 2 weeks in a row now, he looks like a quarterback that doesn't know where to go with the ball.
Yeah, that was part of the knock on him in Colorado. He tried to do too much and hang on to the ball too long, and he was showing that in the last preseason game. All right, so Flacco's the starter for week 1. Herm, hang tight. Help us break down another quarterback situation over there in New Orleans.
It was the final call for someone to separate themselves in the quarterback competition out in New Orleans. Saints hosting the Broncos. Spencer Rattler would get the start, and he would connect with Chris Olave for a 7-yard screen pass. The drive would continue. Later in said drive, he finds Rashid Shaheed across the middle for the first down. That drive would also lead to a field goal. In 3 drives, Rattler goes 5 of 8, 43 yards. It would then be Tyler Shuck's turn. 3rd quarter is where we pick it up. Saints with a 3rd and 6, and Shuck strip, sack, fumble. So less than ideal, to say the least. Broncos would get a touchdown after that, but Shuck has a chance to respond, and that is what he would do. Maliki Motava for the first down. Then later in the drive, 4th quarter, Shuck spinning away from pressure, having to create, and does so. Devin Neal picks up the first down. See it on the replay, escaping the pressure, having the presence of mind to find his outlet, makes the connection. A few plays later, he would keep it himself off the zone read, an 11-yard score, 12-play drive. He finishes 5 drives in an impressive way. Final score, just a footnote. That is because Herm Edwards is back with us to discuss that Saints squad. Quite the conundrum that new head coach Kellen Moore finds himself in. Trying to decide between second-round pick Tyler Shuck and a second-year signal caller in Spencer Rattler, who started 6 games for the Saints last year. What are we to make of this entire quarterback situation, given that both of these cats have received substantial reps in the preseason?
Well, I think Kellen Moore, obviously, he played quarterback in the National Football League, but he also coached some good quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts, Prescott, Herbert. So, he has that to look at. Now he has 2 young quarterbacks, one that has been there and one that they drafted. And I think when you look at the preseason right now, it's a coin toss for me when I watch him play. It's going to be the feel of the head coach, Kellen Moore. Who does he feel comfortable with? And I think this could be week to week, according to how the quarterback's going to play, right? This was a 5-12 football team. Everyone's chasing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the NFC South. It'll be interesting to see who he starts, and does that guy start for the rest of the year?
Yeah, it may not hold for all that long because, to your point, you might as well ride the hot hand given how the preseason totals of completion percentage, sacks, touchdowns, all of those things are pretty much even between these two. So we'll see if that tough decision shakes out to be one that's permanent. Appreciated as always, Coach.
How about them Cowboys? Ryan Schottenheimer says he's going to meet with Micah Parsons about this, appearing to be sleeping on the medical table during the Falcons game Friday. Parsons, of course, has been beefing with Jerry Jones over contract negotiations, hasn't played this preseason. Today on Twitter, Parsons voiced approval for a post stating he was only on the table briefly, adding, "I'd never disrespect the guys out there."
Out there early in the ball game, and the umbrella is a little bit limited because of his lack of mobility, so he won't be able to get in and out of certain jams, or won't be able to get in and out of certain plays, which now puts the onus on the offensive line to be excellent more so than not. But anytime you have a seam throw or a bang-aid throw like we saw today, he's going to hit those, and I think that's a great way for him. That's what you know you're going to get. The run game has to be there. We saw that early in the game. We saw him hit the throws that he had to make, but when you go into the regular season and teams dial up pressures, we know Joe Flacco won't be able to get out of that, so that kind of puts a little bit of a cap on the offense.
Right. Now, after Joe Flacco, we saw Dillon Gabriel get some reps. We talked about how Shedeur struggled later in this game, but Dillon Gabriel, the 3rd-round pick, another strong performance. He went 12 of 19, 129 yards and a touchdown. How are you feeling about Gabriel's preseason performance?
Well, at least this time they don't have to squint and say he played well. It was obvious that he played well in this one. He didn't have turnovers and fumbles, right? So what I like about Dillon Gabriel, he's a quick game assassin. Speed outs, flat routes. If it's there, he's going to take it. Now, he may pass up a big chunk play deeper down the field, or a stop route right in front of him, but at least the offense is still moving. It gets out of his hands quickly. He's going to pepper you with targets. It's no surprise he can go 40 for 40 for 40 yards. He's going to hit. But then you also look at how he's able to distribute. It was shocking watching. Maybe this is just because it was a preseason, but watching how the Rams just kind of allowed him to hit those sort of quick out to the field for that impeccable 90-plus yard drive, touchdown drive. So I thought this was the best game he played out of the 2 preseason games, but you know what type of passer he is. He's a point guard passer, quick, efficient, ball comes out and gets where it needs to be.
Hey, listen, the important thing is to put quarterback in a position to succeed and see how they execute. Right? Keep it simple. Silly. Listen, 3rd preseason game was the last shot at the dress rehearsal, let's say. But let's take a look at the entirety of all 3 preseason games from these Browns quarterbacks. Joe Flacco, Dillon Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, Tyler Huntley. Pickett didn't even make the graphic.
Oh, okay.
Right? Pickett didn't even make the graphic out here. Joe Flacco, of course, QB1 in this season, but a lot of questions remain around the rest of this room as roster cuts are looming Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Saints have a quarterback competition, and that'll soon have a winner. Spencer Rattler getting the start in the preseason finale, middle of the first game, tied at 3. Rattler feeling the pressure, gets sacked. Oof, down goes. Field goal, putting the Saints up 6-3. Rattler finishes 5 of 8, 43 yards over 3 drives. Bo Nix taking T. Nix in his final preseason tune-up, 10 of 14, 110 yards, and that touchdown right there. Now, Tyler Shuck would then get his chance to show New Orleans why he should start. Middle of the 3rd, Saints trailing. Shuck drops back, gets sacked, fumbles the ball